This is some news that broke yesterday. U.S. House votes to sanction international court over warrants for Netanyahu and other Israeli officials. That's right. The United States House is now an international outlaw. They are now bullying the judges. The House voted Tuesday to impose sanctions against the International Criminal Court for its move to issue arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other officials for war crimes in the nation's war against Hamas. The vote was 247 to 155, with nearly every Republican and a few dozen Democrats voting for it. Two Republicans, Representative Thomas Massie of Kentucky and Warren Davidson of Ohio, voted present. No Republicans voted no, actually. It was just everyone voted yes except for those two. The sanctions bill is unlikely to get a vote in the Democratic-controlled Senate, however. Though President Joe Biden called the ICC's actions outrageous, his administration said in a statement Monday it strongly opposes the bill to sanction the court. Biden's administration remains deeply concerned about the ICC prosecutors' heedless rush to apply for arrest warrants for senior Israeli officials, the administration said.
Only took 76 years.
Yeah, right, exactly. Heedless. But it also opposes sanctioning the ICC, its personnel, its judges, or those who assist its work. There are more effective ways to defend Israel, preserve U.S. positions on the ICC, and promote international justice and accountability, and the administration stands ready to work with the Congress on those options. ICC Chief Prosecutor Karim Khan said in a statement last month that the court would issue arrest warrants for Netanyahu, Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, and other Israeli and Hamas leaders, charging leaders on both sides of the conflict with crimes against humanity and war crimes. A panel of 3 judges will take up the issue and ultimately decide whether to issue the warrants. Israel has faced growing criticism of its handling in the war against Hamas begun after the October 7th attack that killed 1,200 Israelis. At least 35,000 in Gaza have been killed since, many of them women and children. Biden has recently said it's uncertain whether Israeli forces has committed war crimes, but acknowledged that innocent people in Gaza had been killed. He also said there's every reason to believe Netanyahu is prolonging the war for political gain. Despite criticism of the ICC, other allies of the U.S. and Israel, including France and Belgium, have defended the court's independence. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the move toward warrants was not helpful as allies seek a way to end the war and assist with humanitarian aid in the region. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said he, too, opposes the ICC's decision, but said he could not support the partisan House bill that is dead on arrival in the United States Senate. Still, Jeffries said he believes there is room for bipartisan legislation on the issue. That's pretty significant that Hakeem Jeffries voted no, because he is as big an Israel simp as you'll find. Well, not quite as big. The biggest one of them all is probably the man who we are going to fundraise against tomorrow night in the Bronx, who did vote yes. I'll get to that in a moment. House Speaker Mike Johnson from Louisiana called the ICC's action outrageous and unconscionable in a press conference Tuesday morning before the vote. The ICC has to be punished for this action, he said. We cannot allow this to stand. If the ICC was allowed to do this and go after the leaders of countries whose actions they disagree with, why would they not come after America? So, there were a few dozen Democrats who voted yes on this. I wrote down the most notable ones. Obviously, Richie Torres voted yes to sanction the ICC. Ruben Gallego from Arizona, who's running for Senate right now as a progressive Democrat, was apparently scared into voting yes. Debbie Wasserman Schmuck, of course, and Dan Goldman from New York. Those were some of the Democratic yes votes, including, obviously, Richie Torres.
What about Adam Schiff?
I didn't actually notice where he voted, actually. I would have to look up his name. I should have checked for him, actually. I should have checked for that. But I don't believe he did. I believe he voted no. Because, look, the administration's stance on this is that they oppose the decision, but that the sanctions are too harsh since it goes after associates and even family members of the ICC. So, they took a milquetoast bullshit stance on that, which gives a lot of Democrats, a reason to vote no. The fact that, Chuck Schumer is not going to take this up in the Senate is evidence that public opinion has shifted on the issue. That's why Hakeem Jeffries is voting no on this. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries, massive AIPAC guy. I mean, I forget what numbers he posted last cycle, but he is consistently most funded by pro-Israel interests, as are so many of these New York Democrats. Every single Republican except 2 voted yes. There were no Republican, no votes. And so, here you have it. Now, this bill is not going to be passed because it's not going to get a vote in the Senate, and Biden has said no to it. But that's the United States House, 244 to whatever the count was, 247. I forget exactly what the count was, voting to sanction the ICC. That's the United States House of Representatives.
247 to 155.
Yeah, 247 to 155 voting to bully the judge, to bully the judges. It is an outlaw branch of government right now. That is not an exaggeration.
Defenders of international law and norms.
Yeah.
We're like a rogue state.
Yeah.
You go and you bully the court that was established to prevent future holocausts.
Yep.
You go and you bully that court. That's like the old Eddie Murphy joke about why would you shoot the Pope? Well, I figure I want to go to hell and I don't want to wait online with everybody else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You're going after the anti-Holocaust court with sanctions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's going to do a lot to improve our public image around the world.
Yeah, just a real disgrace.
Please clap.